So you're interested in buying a freeze dryer, but you're wondering what you're really getting into money-wise when it comes to the actual cost of not only purchasing this machine, running it, all the accessories that you're gonna need to get up and going. Well, today's video is for you. I am going to walk you through every potential cost that you might incur when it comes to purchasing a freeze dryer and actually using it. Obviously, the first thing you're gonna need to pay for is the machine itself. I have the Harvest Right size medium freeze dryer. This is not the Pro version. Currently, Harvest Right has a Harvest Right Pro model. Mine is older, that's why it only has 4 shelves. The size mediums now have 5 and a little bit more upgraded features, but this thing is still going strong. For mine, I paid, I believe, around $2,400. If my memory suffices. But I will read you the current prices of freeze dryers directly from Harvest Right website. Now this is off of the second week of August 2026. Harvest Right does different sales throughout the entire year, so prices can sometimes change. Right now, Harvest Right is offering a size small unit for $1,695. The size medium unit, which is what I have, just an upgraded version, $2,395. There is a size large, $2,995. And then we have the Big Daddy XL, $4,995. Harvest Right is giving free shipping right now to the lower 48. So if you're in Alaska or Hawaii, sorry, you gotta pay shipping. But that is a huge savings. I also have a discount code with Harvest Right for the entire month of August that gets you $100 off the sale price. So you could essentially get a size small for around $1,500. You could get the size medium for $22.95, which that really makes a difference. My discount code will be here on the screen and the link is in my video description down below to check out the actual freeze dryers. When you buy this monstrosity, it comes with everything that you need to get started. It comes with Mylar bags, oxygen absorbers, 4 trays, your vacuum pump, your heat sealer for the Mylar bags, and oil for the pump. So you really can get started on day one with just your initial investment of your purchase price, which is really cool. But quickly, you will realize that there are some more things that you need to make freeze drying just more smooth and seamless and convenient, and you'll run out of bags and oxygen absorbers pretty quick if you use this thing a lot like I do. One bougie upgrade that I definitely think is worth it is the Wi-Fi adapter. That's this little green thing here on top of my machine that's plugged in to the side USB port. This allows me to connect my machine to my cell phone. There's a Harvest Right app, and I can check on my batches while I am not here in my freeze drying studio. If you're at work, you can check your freeze dryer to see where it's at in the freeze drying process. It'll tell you exactly on the runtime if you're in the drying process, if you're in the freezing process, if you're in extra dry time. And you can adjust up or down your times from the app, and it'll talk to the machine from Wi-Fi and make the changes that you need. So that has really come in clutch for me so many times when I've just needed to add extra dry time, but I'm not near my machine to do it. I do it from my phone, and it's so nice. The Wi-Fi kit is $70, which if you're using my $100 off discount code, you're essentially getting this for free. So there's a little savings for you, but I would say that's definitely worth it. Obviously not something that's required, but I do think it's something that's worth it. Mylar bags are another thing you're going to go through very quickly. And I am obsessed with MRE sized Mylar bags. I like to make MRE meals with my freeze dryer. That's one of my favorite things that I freeze dry. And I like to have them in individual portion sizes. So that is truly just like a Mountain House meal, but you made it yourself and it's your own homemade food and it's so good. So I just get my MRE bags on Amazon. There's a few different brands that I've used in the past and they've all been great. I will have those linked in the video description below. But these, I would say, are a must-have, especially if you plan to make MRE meals. Those MRE bags are currently $28.99 on Amazon, but they sometimes go on sale, and I try to share over on my Instagram page when these accessories that I love go on sale, so make sure you're following me there. It's my same name, Freeze Dry Society, on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I'm everywhere. Another thing you go through fast are oxygen absorbers. I get mine on Amazon. I get the 400cc size, and I always look for ones that are packed in small packages. Like these ones come in packs of 5, which is what I prefer, because once you open the bag, they're exposed to air. And so you want to use them right away. If I have a pouch like this, that's a 10 pack and I only need like 3 oxygen absorbers, then I feel like I've wasted the other ones or that I need to hurry and find something to use them in, I like the packs of 5. Those oxygen absorbers are $8.99, very inexpensive and nice to have in bulk on hand. The next item that I feel is a must-have are tray liners. And I have tried so many different types, so many different brands. And I would say the ones that I reach to the most are my liners from Crunchco. Crunchco is a company that makes freeze drying supplies. They have some awesome innovative stuff. And so I can definitely vouch for that brand if you're looking for specific freeze dryer accessories. But I especially love their tray liners. I like these silicone ones. They're washable, reusable, wonderful. And then parchment paper. I use parchment paper when I freeze dry candy. Always, always, always. And these are pre-cut to fit your tray, and they come in this nice packaging so it just stays nice and organized. I really love these 2 items. The silicone liners are $25. The parchment paper is $25. You get 200 sheets in here, so it's gonna last you a long time. I do think I still have a discount code with them to get you 10% off. So when I get that, I will have it down in my video description also. Does this seem like a lot? I know it's a lot. Stick with me. I've got just a few more things and then we're done. One of my must-haves is a vacuum jar sealer for mason jars. I pack a lot of my freeze-dried food in mason jars, and this is something I use almost every time I do a freeze dryer run if I'm packing in mason jars. I just get it on Amazon. My exact one is $25, but I'm seeing other ones on Amazon for like $20 to $21. This is definitely something I think you're gonna need. 2 more items, if I can narrow it down to that. My next item are my tray lids. These are the ones just from Harvest Right. I love them because they snap onto your trays very easily. It allows you to stack your trays for when you're pre-freezing things, or if you're just carrying them around from like your kitchen over to your freeze dryer, you can stack all your trays up and not have to take a million trips back and forth. And they can be used as an extra set of trays. You can actually freeze dry food on the tray right in here, which is kind of cool. I've done it and it works. These are pretty pricey at $69, but I feel like they're worth it. Before I show you my last item, I just want to tell you that yes, these numbers are very high and sound very crazy, and I know sounds very unattainable. I only know information about Harvest Right freeze dryers. I haven't used any of the other brands. If you have, I would love to know your experiences with them. I have heard that there are some other great freeze dryers out there. I just don't know anything about them. But I will say, if you are someone who gardens and has lots of produce that typically would go to waste or just ends up being thrown in your freezer, never to see the light of day again, freeze drying is an amazing option. If you are someone who has kids that love freeze dried candy, it is so fun to have your own freeze dryer to make your own. When I first got this thing, all my kids could talk about was what candies they wanted to freeze dry next. They had so much fun with it. And so that's just another perk of freeze drying. It's not only for food, it's not only for camping meals. You can do candy, you can do all kinds of fun things with it, which is one of the things I love about freeze drying. And honestly, the way I was able to recoup the cost of my freeze dryer, because yes, it is so expensive, I took my first year of freeze drying and I decided to sell freeze-dried candy. Now granted, this was 4 years ago, kind of at the height of the freeze-dried candy craze, but I was able to recoup the cost of my freeze dryer plus more just by selling freeze-dried candy out of my home for a year. I did have to get a business license, so check with your local state laws and regulations for cottage food. That's what I operated under. I couldn't ship or sell anything. I could only sell locally in my community. But I sold out of my home. I sold at a couple small vendor markets, like the one at my elementary school I did a few years in a row. I also was able to donate freeze-dried goodie baskets to different raffles that went to support our school, which was a really fun opportunity. My very best customer that I ever had when I was selling freeze-dried candy was a woman who would drive from Wasilla down to Eagle River, because where I lived in Eagle River, we had a bowling alley. But the bowling alley was also like a poker bingo hall. I guess they don't do bingo anymore, but they would do poker every Thursday night. And every week, this woman would message me and place like $100 to $150 order of freeze-dried candy. Usually big hunks. Big hunks were her favorite. She would also get caramel M&Ms and then sometimes some other candies. So I would meet her at the poker hall and give her her candy. She would give me the money, and it was our own little candy deal in the poker parking lot. That was fun. It was so fun. My theory was that she was taking all this candy to poker and then selling it to her friends for an even bigger profit than what she paid me, which that's amazing. What a great little business, because there's no way this woman was eating all of this candy. It was just funny. That was one of my memories from my candy selling days. My last item is another bougie item, but I think it is so nice. I didn't have one until like a year or two after starting my freeze drying journey, but that is the freeze drying supplies food funnel. This thing makes it so easy to package your foods and way less messy. Is it necessary? No. Is it highly useful and convenient and wonderful? Yes. You can just stick your bags or your jar under here. The top is wide enough for you to put your whole tray in, and it just dumps the food in right into the vessel that you're storing it in. And I just love it. I call it a bougie item because it's $95. But a lot of these things with the accessories, you buy once and then you never have to buy again. I've never had to repurchase tray lids, food funnel, my silicone liners. They have all held up so well. And so you at least know you're getting a good product. But I know the price tag is a little high. All right, should I do a grand total of the entire buy-in cost of a freeze dryer if you were to buy the freeze dryer plus all of the accessories that I suggest that are necessary? And you know what I mean, not necessary, but highly useful. Let's see, I gotta do some calculating. Are you ready for it? $2,640. I do know that Harvest Right offers a layaway program that you could reserve a freeze dryer and just make payments towards it. And then once you make your final payment, they ship it to you. What's nice about that is if there's a sale happening, like right now, the extra $100 off, you could lock in that deal by doing the layaway program now, and you lock in your sale price. So there's one way that you can just like work your way up towards that full price. Another option is to check out Facebook Marketplace, because a lot of people move and can't bring their freeze dryer with them, so they'll sell it on Facebook for a discounted price. Some people buy a new one or an upgraded one, and so they're selling their old one. I almost sold mine in Alaska when I was moving because I didn't know if it would survive our big move, but it seems to have held up just fine. There are options of getting secondhand machines. I don't think you have a warranty with it anymore at that point. You don't really know what you're getting into buying a used machine, but if you're able to vouch the person and they seem honest, maybe they could even show you it running, it could be an option to save some money. If you got any questions, I'm happy to chat with y'all in the comments. Were you surprised at that buy-in price for everything? I mean, the fact that 4 years ago, I bought a freeze dryer for $2,400 and they're still similarly priced. It's one thing that hasn't skyrocketed in price, like so many other things in our world right now. And I'm hoping they just continue to make them more affordable for people. So as always, thank you so much for being here. Give this video a thumbs up. If you have the hype option, hit that hype button. That helps get my video out to more viewers. And so thank you for doing that if you have the hype option. And remember, when you freeze dry today, you secure your tomorrow. Bye, friends.